All right, guys, so this is our single dumbbell workout. We have some strength stuff, 3 to 4 sets up here, and then a nice little 4-time clean dumbbell clean and jerk with a burpee EMOM in it. All right, so we have some leg stuff as well as some push-ups. Again, you're just going to need one dumbbell for this. I'm going to bring Diane in here to demonstrate our strength stuff today. We're starting with single leg squats on the box. So right now we happen to have a bench, but you can use anything. If you have a box, if you have a half wall, whatever you want to do. It's something you guys have done before, but all we're looking for is good squat mechanics. So she is keeping her foot flat on the bench. She's trying to get full depth. It depends on where you're at though. If you can get there, great. If not, you can do what she just did, and that's dropping down until your heel or your foot touches the ground, and then you're pushing back up. The further forward your foot is, the lower you're going to have to go for your heel to touch. So that'll be something you can do to make it a little bit more challenging. You want to make sure that whenever you're doing single leg stuff, your knee is tracking outside your toe. You do not want it to cave in. So if that's happening to you, modify it, make it a little bit easier. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is the Cossack squat. So again, it's something that I know you guys know how to do very well, but just one thing to keep in mind here is you want to take a nice wide stance. A lot of times I see people go a little bit too narrow. It makes it a little bit more challenging. But with that nice wide stance, she's going to squat down to one side. Again, knee tracking outside the toe, leg nice and straight. And you can see on her opposite foot, her toe is pointed up. Okay, that's a personal preference. If you want to keep your foot flat on the ground, you're welcome to do that too. And again, looking for full depth on your squats. If you need to scale that, grab your dumbbell. Grab any kind of weight implement that you have, and you can hold it out in front of you for a little bit of a counterbalance. Following those Cossack squats, 8 per leg, you're going to do push-ups times max effort. So you're going until you cannot do another push-up. Actually, what I want you to do is stop one before you cannot do another push-up. So one prior to failure. So we're going to use a bench here for the scale. If you have your hands on a bench, I want you to touch your chest to the bench. If you have your hands on the ground, I want you to touch your chest to the ground. Okay, so this is a good scale for if you have trouble doing, I would say less, or if you have trouble doing more than 10 push-ups in a row, I'm going to want you to scale it so you get a little bit of volume in there. If you're doing less than about 10 push-ups, then you're not going to be able to work on the muscle endurance that you're going to need for doing push-ups in workouts. Another thing to pay attention to is the width of your hands. So the wider your hands are, the more chest you're using. The narrower your hands are, the more triceps you're using. So what I want you to work on is getting somewhere in the middle. So you're using a little bit of chest and a little bit of triceps. Okay, so that's your strength stuff for today. The next piece for time, it's 100 alternating dumbbell clean and jerks. So a lot of times we do alternating snatches. This is going to be a new movement. It's going to take a little bit of practice. So I recommend getting a few practice reps in prior to starting the workout. So the catch here with this workout is every minute on the minute, you have to do 5 burpees over the dumbbell. Okay, before we get into the clean and jerks, let's talk about those 5 burpees, because I want you to have at least probably 30 to 40 seconds to work on your clean and jerks per minute. If those burpees are going to start eating up too much time, then scale the number back. That's a great way to scale this workout, is by scaling that burpee number to maybe 3 or 4 reps instead of 5. The 5 is going to be pretty tough, okay? So for the dumbbell, alternating dumbbell clean and jerks, both heads of the dumbbell start on the ground. Her back is flat, just like when we're doing a snatch. But instead of doing a snatch overhead, she's going to clean that up to her shoulder, okay? And then from here, she can dip and drive that weight up overhead. On the way back down, just like when you're doing a snatch, this is where the practice comes in. She's going to switch hands. So switch hands in front of her face, tap it to the ground. She's going to clean it up to her shoulder, dip and drive overhead, switch hands. Now, what I would recommend is trying to catch that in a little dip like she did right there. So as soon as it touches her shoulder, she's already dipped and is able to drive it straight up over her head, get a good lockout, switch hands every rep. So as far as weight goes, you're going to be doing 100 of these, and you're going to need to be able to do several in a row without having to stop and rest, because the longer you take, the more burpees you're going to do, and it's just going to start compounding. So I don't want you to go super light like she has right here, but I do want you to pick something that is going to allow you to keep moving and get it done in a reasonable amount of time, okay? So if you do have any questions on this, feel free to shoot me an email. We have the equipment rentals going on, so you can come in and grab one of your dumbbells. Don't forget, click the I Did It button at the bottom of the page under the home WOD on WODhopper. All right, guys, look forward to seeing how you guys do.